M3 is out and I'm not upgrading to M3 this year. And so this video, I'm going to talk about why I'm not. Right off the bat, the first reason I'm not going to upgrade to the new M3 chip is I have M2 already. So I use my M2 MacBook Pro 16-inch. I do a lot of stuff on it. And when I record my videos, I'm using it to record audio and sound. So I can't really pick it up and use it as a prop in this video like I've done before, but I'm actually using my M2 MacBook right now. And M2 is awesome. All right, I still have my M1 Mac Mini, the original M1 Mac Mini that came out. This thing still cuts through 4K footage like butter. And so between the products that I have, just recently upgrading to M2, I just don't see the justification to go to M3, especially since I'm a Pro chip user. So I have an M2 with the Pro chip, and word on the street, especially Twitter, a bunch of YouTube tech videos that I watch, the M3 Pro is not that much of an upgrade from the M2 Pro. And so I'm not gonna go base level M3, and I'm certainly not gonna spend all that money for the M3 Max. And so as a Pro chip user, not much reason to upgrade in terms of CPU, GPU, process power, all that stuff. I'll drop a link in the description below to a channel that I watch that goes over the Geekbench and all that benchmark scoring. I'm a nerd. I watch those videos because I like to learn myself, but I don't talk a lot about that on my channel. And so if you're interested in how well these perform, real world testing videos will probably be out soon. But if you want to check out some stuff now, I'll drop a link in the description so you guys can take a look at that. Now, we might disagree here on this topic, but I don't think anybody's workflow really calls for the Max chip. All right, if you're on the M1 or M2 family of chips, the M1 Max or the M2 Max specifically, I think you're gonna be fine. The M3 Max does have a jump in improvement, but if you've already invested in the M1 or M2 Max chips, I think you're gonna be okay. If your workflow does call for the M3 Max chip, go right ahead, do what you do. Like I said, this is not a bashing video. I'm not telling you how to spend your money or what not to buy. Hopefully this video helps you make informed choices, but I think for the everyday person, if you're already on an M line of chips, I think you're gonna be okay. Another reason here is I know when someone's trying to avoid the smoke at all costs, and Apple definitely was trying to avoid the smoke with the M2 chip. In the Scary Fast event, M3 was being compared to M1 and Intel quite a bit. They didn't really mention a lot of improvements from M2, and so if you're an M2 user, you should take that as a hint that if they're not comparing much of the CPU, GPU performance stuff to that model chip, then there's probably not that much of an upgrade there. And so I really don't think the audience this year was those that have M2. I think it's more so those that are on M1 and Intel. That's what I think the M3 audience is targeted for. And so as an M2 user, I picked up on that during the event, and it just was another reason that, hey, they're not trying to sell this M3 to me. I'm not the audience for them. It is what it is. And with that, I'll say this. I think the trouble Apple is having is M1 was so good. It was so good of a jump from Intel that it's hard to get people to want to upgrade. And again, we hear the term the average consumer, all over social media and YouTube, and the average consumer. But seriously, the average consumer that got an M1 is probably going to be okay on M1 for quite some time. And those that just recently got M2, likewise, you're probably not going to be in the ballpark for wanting to upgrade your computer to, M5, 6, or 7 potentially, because most of these computers, even the Airs, can handle the day-to-day tasks, the text message, the FaceTime, the email, the Zoom. Most of these computers and optimized software can handle 4K footage, and so it's not like the M3 is going to do so much more for the everyday person that I've just got to go and give Apple all my money for the latest M3. So again, if your workflow calls for it, you know what you need for your business or your projects, M3 Pro or Max is going to be what you need, go ahead. But I'm in the everyday average consumer pool, and I've never ran into an issue with the day-to-day tasks, and I've edited all my videos on DaVinci Resolve on my laptop, which was previously an M1 Pro chip. I upgraded to the M2 Pro chip and haven't had any problems doing that thus far. So like I said earlier, the audience for M3 isn't M2, but Apple does a great job of marketing where they come up with the product, minute incremental changes, and they market it for everybody regardless of what chip or what line of product that you have. And so, for example, I really think this year the new space black color, is beautiful as it looks, I think it's a gimmick in terms of trying to get people to purchase more of these computers. It's literally the same identical model as M2. There just is a new colorway option. Again, it's a cosmetic. It's not necessarily going to change or make anything better for you in terms of your everyday use of the computer. So it really leads me to kind of this final point that I have, that I think M3 this year is really a flex product, meaning if you're coming from Intel, or maybe you made a mistake in the M1 computer that you purchased, maybe you didn't get the right specs, M3 Pro or M3 Max might be something that you want to invest in for that to be your future computer. But other than that, M3 I think is really just for the consumer that wants to have the latest and greatest this year. I honestly think that Apple makes phenomenal products, especially their Macs, that if you're on an M1 or M2 family of chip, there really isn't a reason to upgrade necessarily. And so I would highly encourage you to hold off till next year to see if there's any major jumps in performance, or in my case, a design change that warrants possibly upgrading to a newer Mac, whether that's dynamic island or OLED screens or whatever, but some type of design. That might sound like I'm bashing Apple, but it really is credit to Apple that they make phenomenal products, and whatever M chip you end up getting, whether it is the M3 or you stay with what you have, you're going to be getting a powerfully productive product no matter what. And so I kind of want to end it there. Whatever you decide to get, you're going to get a great product. Don't let this video come off as bashing. I love Apple products. I just think where I am right now with my workflow and my finances and things like that, I just don't see financially and performance productivity wise a reason to upgrade to M3 from M2. If you're going to be getting M3, let me know in the comments below. If you're not going to be upgrading, what are the reasons you're not going to be upgrading? I love to hear it down below in the comments. I love when you guys jump in and have some discussion. So that's it for me. I'm holding off. I won't be getting M3 this year. I'll be sticking with M2. I still might pick it up just to do an unboxing, but I don't personally think this year I'm going to justify keeping the M3. So if I do that video, I'll let you guys know. I'll drop it on the channel. If you found this video likable, enjoyable, if you enjoyed the discussion, if you found it interesting or helpful, go ahead and hit a like for your boy. If you want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell so you know when new content goes live. But like always, be blessed. Catch you in the next video. Peace.